Maximus Poppy Dog. What's up, dude? Well, we're here tonight. I came out here in the evening because it was 92 degrees today, so I figured I'd save this work for tonight. Anyway, we're here to do a few things to this truck. Mainly, I don't know if y'all can even see that, but that's the drag link. I mean, not the drag link, the pitman arm. Try to hold it still so you can see that movement in there. That's what I kind of look for when I do inspections. Anyway, we're going to change that out, and we're also going to do front brakes on this thing. This truck's gone for just about 3 weeks at a time. So the last time we did a PM on this, I told him he's going to need shoes and drums on the front. So they're a little bit out of spec. The brake shoes are at minimum. I told him that. Both sides are the same way. When we did the PM the last time on this truck, told him that the brakes were basically at minimum. So we kind of set it up for this time around, drums and front shoes and oil change. You had a exhaust leak there at the turbo. I forgot what else. Oh yeah, it was just a lot of little shit, but if you let it go, it adds up into big stuff. So he had a look here. This is what he had going on for his. Come on, there you go. This is what he had going on for his door handle there. So we got one of them, got it ordered, got it in. I was here, I don't know, probably. It's been over a couple of months ago. I was here, and we put a the inside of that door, the little metal rod that controls that from the outside broke off, and of course Freightliner, they can't find nothing. This is a Coronado, kind of a glider truck, and they want to sell you the whole damn thing. So I made up something, and it's still working today. So which I knew it would. It was a pretty good fix. So anyway, we're just here to do regular, just normal stuff. He was saying something about a power steering leak. I might have some hosing on the truck for that. We'll have to look. Neither one of those are pressurized. The only pressurized one is this one here. So these are just returns and supply. So there's no pressure. I could use the oil hose if I needed to. But first thing I want to do is I want to address this pitman arm, and then we'll knock the brakes out. I'll probably save the oil for last, just because it's up under the truck. But anyway, let me get going on this so we can. It's just regular routine stuff. So anyway, enjoy, y'all. Hopefully this thing comes out without a problem. If not, we're going to have to get violent. I don't mind. I'm cool either way. I prefer not to be violent, but if it comes down to it, let me see if that's even going to wiggle. If not, I'm going to torch it just a little bit. get out the bug spray because these mosquitoes are already starting. Let me go get my damn bug spray. Alright, now we're all juicied up. So I don't know how the freaking mosquitoes are around everywhere else, but I know around here in Missouri, they will violate your ass if you're not careful. So, let's see if I can get this sucker to wiggle around a little bit. There we go. Yeah. Now, if we weren't going to reuse that drag link, I would just send it, buddy. I would just cut these ends off, put my damn gun on there, and just send her away. But we're not here to do a drag link, so I gotta salvage the situation. There's that. We're gonna reuse. We're gonna put a new one of that in there. So. Alright, 1 5/16 on a 3/4 Milwaukee. Won't, well, we'll just turn it hot. Alright, we're just going to beat that off of there. Or not. Set that off to the side for now. If you notice, I kind of cleaned some of the grease off. It's kind of gnawed out just a little bit, so it's been an ongoing thing. Usually it is. I'll try to tighten until you ain't got nothing left. So you can look at the movement on this sucker. It shouldn't do that. So anyway, I knew this was coming. You know, last time I did the service. So it is what it is. Here we are. Try with a little half. I'm gonna have to get a 3/4. Hard to send. Really any marks. I'm gonna notch it. those of you that don't know or may not know, typically the pitman arm will give before, like the teeth will wear out on the pitman arm before they will wear out on that one. It's not always the case, especially if they let them go for, they neglect them forever. Typically you'll replace the pitman arm before you replace the shaft on it. It's not always the case, but anything can happen. Mostly empty can of spray, actually. Let that kind of evaporate for a minute. Yeah, the teeth don't look bad on this one. All nice and strong. So. As long as you get your fat open end on the for the joint down there, you're all right. I erased my marks, but I got that one there to line it up just fine. Same thing down here at the bottom. I always put NICs. Makes it a whole lot better getting it back in there the second time around. Oh, wrong bolt, wrong nut. I'm not going to tighten that down until see how wide open it is up here. Well, the other one was kind of closed off. I mean, it was pretty much smashed down there. There wasn't nothing left, and it chewed up the. This is made of a softer metal than this is, so it'll tend to chew the pitman arm up before it will chew the gears up, which is a bonus. Juicy. Cooler now than it was was earlier, that's for damn sure. He was ugly. Send her home. That's full of beans on a half-inch Milwaukee. She should be just fine. 3/4 down here. Sometimes you gotta tap on it. On the hole. Clean all the crusties out of there. So I'm not gonna start this truck up yet, just to test this, because I don't want. That's just anti-seize on there. Is all that is, just all goopy. Anyway, I'm not going to start this thing up because I don't want the oil. I got to change the oil too, so I don't want the oil filters full of oil, or at least where they're going to spill everywhere when I get to them. So I'm just gonna I'll test it afterwards. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I don't throw these on the ground either, because I don't want my truck getting flat, so I don't do it to anybody else either. I hate going to the freaking rail yards for that reason, because they throw them down bolt locks, you know, the seals, they throw them bolt ones. Man, them suckers just get into your freaking tires and wreak havoc, boy. Anyway, that's all I'm going to do with that. We still got to grease it, so I'll come back to that whenever we do that. But for now, that's all we're going to do on that. I smashed it down pretty good, so we really should be okay with that. But I'm going to take the front of this truck up off the ground, put all my stuff away that I was using here, and get ready to do some brakes. Well, looks like I got the wrong brake shoes. They're about an inch wider and the spring don't match. So they're not going to get no brake shoes or drums tonight, because the drums aren't even the right size for the shoes. So they're not going to get any of it, and they need 4 shocks instead of 2. They said they only wanted 2, but they got 1 shock leaking on one axle, and they got the other shock leaking on the other axle. So they really need 4. So that's what they're going to get. I'll explain that to them. They're closed on the weekend here, so I can't get anything till Monday, or at least the parts that I use. One vendor, and that's all I use. And they're not open on the weekends, so mess with the shoes or the drums or the shocks until I get 4. So, I did the kingpin or the pitman arm. We'll do the oil change. I'll grease it so that way they're at least up on their oil change. Their shocks and their brakes I'll have to come and get at another time. It won't be today or tonight. I really wanted to get it all done. The right stuff. I can't put on the wrong shit, or I won't. So that pitman arm would get him put out of service or kill somebody, so I figured that's a priority. And I'll get the door handle put on, even though that really isn't a DOT thing. It's nice to open your door with the right stuff. They use all this plastic garbage on these trucks nowadays. So, I don't like doing shit half-assed. If I can't do it right, I don't even want the freaking job. Like another thing I don't like is, you know, for example, the shocks. Not a big deal, but 2 of the shocks on they're you know, crisscross. 2 of them are good, 2 of them are bad, so they're probably all bad. But they got a couple of them leaking, and they're on 1 on each axle. So he's gonna get 2 shocks, or 4 rather, drive axle. And then I'll do the brakes at the same time. That'll give me a chance to get the other 2 shocks and the correct brakes. And we'll come back to this other stuff. I got the air tank in for that. Oh, that trailer that got the tank stolen off of it. I got the tank in, and I've got the valve, or the new. We didn't have a used one, so we had to get a new one. That some bitch was $1,300. It's got ABS. I'm proud of that shit. So I might do it. I don't know. I haven't decided when I'm going to do it yet. It might be tomorrow. I don't know. I might go to the Renaissance Festival Sunday, or that's tomorrow. Today's Saturday night. So have me a beer and a turkey leg. That's about the only thing I go there for. The rest of that shit, lower priced. Reach up here, change out these filters. The reason why I didn't want to start it is because once you do that, it fills up the freaking oil filters. And the last one that did the oil change on here, I'm always happy with myself because I never have to fight them. I called this guy one time, the owner of this company. I said, I want to shake your mechanic's hand. He said, why is that? And I said, well, because he knows how to put oil filters on correctly, so we ain't got to fight him to get it off here. Boy, I'd hate to have to get the oil filters off here, like, you know, when they're totally seized on here, because there ain't no room between the frame and this. And see, if you were to run the truck, the engine, the oil filter, the oil would between the block and or the housing and this, so you'd have oil everywhere. That's why I didn't want to start it. So it'd be a little bit cleaner. Exchange for the oil filters. I don't mind getting oily, but if I don't have to, then I don't want to. Yeah, I know my type of work ain't really everybody's cup of tea. Sometimes it ain't mine, especially when it's hot out. And I just do not take the frickin' heat too well. So in the summertime, I become a frickin' night owl. I work the night shift all night. I go home about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Sleep for a few hours. See how nice that is? Where you gotta mess with that oil. That's why I didn't start it. So anyway, during summer I'll work all night. Start usually about 9 o'clock, 9:30. And then I'll go all night long till 6 or 7, maybe 8 in the morning. And that's about when it starts to get warm. I'll go home and hibernate. Let me go get some oil real quick so I can fill up these filters. I was telling you, I really don't like to do stuff half-assed. If I can't complete the job, then I'd rather come back to it. And the bad part about that, at least the way I do things, is I don't typically bill the customer until all the work is done. So if he wants all this shit done, and I gotta wait on the right parts because I didn't get the right parts, I can't charge them for it. So it's kind of my deal. It's just longer that I can bill them. So if I've got $2,000 or $3,000 worth of parts out, well, I can't bill for that until I get it done. At least I won't anyway. I mean, you could, but I just don't do business. I don't like to bill until I'm done. And once you give me your list, if you want to start adding shit to it, that's a whole different ball game there. But it'll be another week before I'll bill this customer because I'll try to get him on the weekends. Alright, so hand tight. And one full rotation. And that's it. Crank it on there until it stops. But on these Detroit, these 60 series, they have a habit sometime. I had a customer had a Western Star, and if you only put them on hand tight with a half a turn, for whatever reason, they try to wiggle themselves loose. And so I started doing a full rotation on his truck. He had the same engine, 60 series. So I'll go hand tight and then a full rotation with the wrench, and that's it. And you could probably get some more out of it if you wanted to, but that's not a good idea. That's when you have trouble getting them off. It may not be the way everybody else does it, or it may not even be right, but that's the way I do it. I ain't never had no troubles. Anyway, we're going to do the oil change on this thing. And I'll change out it's only got the water separator, it doesn't have a fuel filter. Like, it only has the water separator. So I carry the ones he's got on the truck all the time. Just because, especially in the wintertime, a 60 series Caterpillar and ISX, I usually carry at least the engine side filter. The trucks are going to be different, the truck side, but as far as the engine side, they're all be the same for the most part. So it's harder to get to. So. Okay, that was one full rotation. So whenever I do that, they come off real nice. They're snug, but they're not crazy stupid, where you gotta fight to get them off. I don't do that because I don't like to do it myself. So. Anyway, let me go finish this up. I'll change out that fuel filter, throw some all in it, like the old Texas all. So this truck only has this one filter for his fuel, and it's all the way up. You see how the last time I did it, I always put my name on them and the date, just because, just the way it is, man. Yummy, tasty. Good stuff. Same thing with these damn filters. I've had some that you can't hardly frickin' get off even with the tool. And you end up splitting the damn thing on there. And these guys, they crank these suckers on there until there's nothing left. And that's just not how you do it. You gotta explain to these poor people why in the hell their labor rates are so high. Well, you need to be a little bit more, how can I say this, choosy with your mechanics. I didn't put it on there like that, but let's see, what is the date today? 5? I have no idea. You do not have to crank these housings on here. I got an O-ring for a reason. I went out to do service calls. And you cannot get that damn thing off. You end up stripping out the teeth on this plastic thing, even if you have the proper tool. Put some grease on this already. I just use a little thing full of just chassis grease is all it is. That's all I use. I just whip up that O-ring so it don't stick, and it makes a good seat. So it looks snazzy. So yeah, I've been to road calls where I could not get that damn thing off. I tell them, man, I'm sorry, buddy, but if I take that off, it's going to be damaged. You're going to be stranded here. So why don't we just leave it? You go do your thing. Usually in the wintertime. I'll let them know. Man, you guys cannot be freaking doing that stuff. A bit of grease on that O-ring that seats all there and makes a nice little seal. The cross thread, that's another good fucking cross thread. When you get it off there, it's all jacked. So I put it on there as tight as I could with my hands, for the most part. Now all I'm going to do is give it probably about a half a turn, and that's it. You're getting in there doing any more. Leaks while you're filling it up, just give it a little bit more. You put grease on there and there's nothing wrong with the threads on the plastic thing here. And try not to leak. You'll know if you got a leak or not, or if it's not tight enough. But don't put it any more tighter. I mean, it's Jiminy Christmas. I've had it where you've had to cut these damn things off here just to get the frickin' filter out. It's just ridiculous. Thing on this one here, you always see these little pieces broken right here, partly because they're plastic, but just put that sucker on hand tight, man. Change out the O-rings, you'll be alright. Alright, let's get some oil in this damn thing and then we'll fire it up. I'll do 11 gallons and then we'll let it run for a little bit and I'll check it. we got 1 gallon with the filters. I only put 1 gallon between the two of them, so half a gallon in each one. And then I'm going to put in 10 more gallons right here. And we'll let it run. And it almost always needs another gallon, 12. At least on the 12.7s that I do. I almost had an interesting recovery video the other day with Bertha, but by the time I got out there to go do it, we went out there at midnight, I don't know, a couple days ago. And this dude out in the middle of nowhere. Called me on Google and see if I could come pull this truck out. So I went over and took a look at it. I said, well, I know my tow truck ain't gonna get down in there, so we'll have to figure something else out. Like I said, I went down there the next day, 11 o'clock, and it was gone. So, I tried calling him and he don't answer, so piss on it. I don't bother. Not my deal. I didn't charge him anything, go out there and look at it. I just gave him a ride home, just concerned about him. So there will be another one. I didn't really buy my tow truck to do towing with it per se. I just bought it to lift shit up that I can't. You know, like if I got to change out dolly legs on the trailer, the front, that's pretty much why I bought it. So I can pick up the front of that trailer, or whatever, or, you know, pick up the back of a trailer, or like to swap out the bogie on the back, the tandem. You know, it's nice to be able to pick up the back end of that trailer and then just side pull it out. Side pull another one in there and drop it down on there. I hate turning down work like that. That's kind of why I bought that tow truck. It wasn't really to tow. I'll do a little bit here and there, but just because it's something different. But I didn't really buy it for towing, even though I had to rebuild the entire wheel lift from beginning to end. So I redid I pulled out the cylinder, started leaking on the wheel lift, and then we couldn't get the pin out because it was seized in there, and you know, they don't know what fucking grease is, so I had to have a guy come out with a cutting torch and cut it out of there, and then I welded it all back in there and took it to a hydraulic shop and had them rebuild the cylinder, and it hasn't leaked since. And I know I welded it good because I did it probably 6 passes on both sides of that damn pin. I built my pins and everything. Anyway, that's 11 gallons. I got one more right here. Let me go start this sucker up. Get the rest of this oil out of there. Just gonna put it in here. Alright, let me go fire this thing up. I guess y'all are going to be okay there. Sit tight. Alright, we're going to let that sit for about 5 minutes while I do some dressing. And then we'll check it again. I'm almost certain it's going to need another gallon. So, anyway, I'm going to grease this truck real quick. Alright, I greased the truck. So we're going to pull this dipping stick here. As long as they got the right dipstick and whatnot. We'll get an accurate reading, but you can't hardly see it, but let me see, I can't even hardly see it. So right there it's going to be full, and there's a gallon between that. So if it's right here, we're good to go. So you may only need 11. Yeah, so it's right on the money. So we're going to leave it at 11. We ain't going to put no more in it. As long as that's the right dipstick, we'll be good. So anyway, that's all we're going to do on this truck for tonight. I'm going to put that handle on. I guess I'll show that to you guys. I'm going to wash my mittens here before I put my hands in their truck so I don't get everything all greasy. Use a little bit of cherry bomb. A little bit more. I don't like these towels as much as I like these. These are the bomb. If you guys ever get some. They didn't have any more, otherwise I got another bottle, so I had to get these. The reason why I like these purple ones, the Pinray, is because they got little porous on them, like it almost feels like grit, like pumice. So it really gets the grease off. These don't have it, but they do pretty well as far as cleaning your hands off. These smell better. They're smelly. And they're juicy. I call my hands meat hooks because I ain't got no fingers hardly. I got grip. It's not always a good thing because my hands are real fat and you can't hardly fit your hands into certain things. Little spaces are kind of tough. Get your damn hands stuck in there. Anyway, put this shit up. Stay. Alright, let's go do that door handle. Well, I got it sitting here somewhere. I just don't know where the hell I put it. Where did you go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so it's just this little, there's a right and a left, so it goes under like that. It's got a little screw to hold it on there, and they break off like right here. So it's just plastic is all it is. Junky, it's a Torx bit. So that's what it's got going on right here. So we're going to release that, release the little bolt thing in there, and should be good to go. Well, I got the right Torx bit. We were going to give them back their little deal there so you can see what's going on here. Not a big deal. Like I said, I took the door panel off here, I don't know, a few months ago, and there's just a rod that runs through here and operates the locking mechanism out here. It comes over here and it just broke off. Just a piece of metal is all it was. And anyway, we couldn't find one. They wanted to sell the whole shebang. And I said, well, I can rebuild that thing for a little bit of nothing. Yeah, that figure's dropped down in there. Let me see if I can find something to get that out. There it is. And just put the new one on. These are tapered ends, so I don't do anti-seize on them because they're really not supposed to go in there that tight. The best part about this is trying to figure out the hole. It is rather challenging. That's it. Otherwise you'll split that sucker like nothing. Let's see if we did that job right. Oh, I was going to tell you, don't tighten them down too tight, otherwise you'll split them. Ask me how I know. I've already bought my share of screw-ups. Alright, let's see if we got it right. Oh yeah. One more time. Alrighty then. Well, that's a wrap, folks. Well, that's all we're going to do tonight. I'm going to clean up my mess because I still got shit laying everywhere. The drums I got to take back, and the brakes. Show you while we're out and about doing this. These were delivered to me, so I didn't know until they got them here, and by the time they got to me, the place was already closed. So here's the shoes that I was given, and here's the drum. I think the drum's right. The shoes don't even go down in there. See how that is? They should slide right down in there. So I know they're not right for these drums. And these are 5 inches, the other ones are 4. So, and not only that, the spring, get it out here. The spring is one of those for like a Columbia. It's got the contoured spring, like the shape's different. So I know they're not right. And the other one here is straight. The shoes that are on this thing here are for like they're the same as it's like a FLD. They're the same front axle, well, almost, sort of. So that's all I can do for now. I'm gonna put all this shit up and call it a night for at least services. So anyway, until next time, I'll bring you guys back along.